Hi, dear Toastmasters, guests, and friends. Welcome to the world's biggest platform to hone your leadership skills and communication skills, which is Toastmasters. I'm Veera Sriram, your public relations manager, and I welcome you to our talk show called Open Heart with D31. On our talk show in this episode, I have a friend who has been area director twice and the club coach of the year last year. Without any further ado, let us ask Toastmaster Liz what it entails to be a club coach of the year. Toastmaster Liz, how are you doing today?
I'm well. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming on to our talk show. Toastmaster Liz, I ask all my friends the first question. Your Toastmasters journey. Where did it start? How did it start? Would you like to share something about that?
Thank you. That's a great question. I started as a Toastmaster at Greater Issaquah Toastmasters in Seattle. And when I moved to Boston, I love Toastmasters so much that I started looking for a Toastmaster club and found Toastmasters at MIT, which I've been part of in many different roles for 3 years. And my journey, this is has been a journey that I shared with Toastmasters now all over the world in the pandemic, visited lots of clubs, and every time I visit a new club, I learn something amazing and make great friends who have formed a support network that I can't imagine living without now.
Thank you, Toastmaster Liz, for sharing that. There is a reason why you joined Toastmasters, but there may be a reason what keeps you at Toastmasters. Can you tell us what keeps you at Toastmasters?
The reason that I joined Toastmasters was a lot like everybody that I meet for the first time. We all have this growth mindset and we want to get better at speaking publicly. The reason that I've stayed at Toastmasters is more complex. I've learned a lot of things about myself. I've learned that I have improvement opportunities in listening, not just speaking, but communicating, making powerful points, and also having the network of the Toastmasters. It's like having my own private sandbox to try new things, especially in this time where we're hybrid and digital. It's not enough to communicate with intention, but all these different aspects of the technology and still being able to make your point has really, in my opinion, increased the importance of groups like Toastmasters.
Thanks a lot for sharing the importance of Toastmasters in the virtual world, which we are all in the last 3 years. Toastmaster Liz, shifting gears, I'd like to ask the impact of Toastmasters on your personal life, professional life, social life, spiritual life. Would you like to share a couple of stories from these?
Absolutely. The largest impact on my personal life has been my ability to make an impactful statement while I'm speaking. I got to a point in my career where I was supposed to be a technical expert in a very niche mm, branch of science. But as soon as the conversation got outside of the technical realm, I just didn't have the skills to say anything. And it started to impact my credibility. Even when I knew all about the topic we were discussing, I just didn't, I froze. And I am a rambler. So when I get nervous, I just start going and going and going without actually saying anything. So by practicing not just prepared speeches, but impromptu speaking, I can make a point that has a beginning, middle, and end. And now I can engage with my audience. And it's been very powerful.
Thank you for sharing that story, Toastmaster Liz. That really touches a lot of people. A lot of people go through the same experience. Now we hear that you're going to start a new blog. What is all about the blog Toastmasters, Liz? Would you like to talk about that?
Absolutely. One of the level 4 projects for dynamic leadership is starting a blog for my club. My blog is focused on leadership and things commonly asked questions about Toastmasters, like what to expect for your first meeting. If you're like me, you've probably heard about Toastmasters from a variety of people and wonder if it's a good fit. So hopefully, my blog will help explain more about my journey, the things we're doing in our club, and the power of Toastmasters and how it can help you in the future.
And when can we expect the blog Toastmasters, Liz? Is it already online or is it in summer? When is it going to debut?
The blog is up and running. It is https toastmasters at mit.com. And if you type it into your browser, it should come up and you'll find out more about Toastmasters at MIT.
Thanks a lot for doing this, for sharing your stories via blog. The more we share, the spread the knowledge and the information on Toastmasters. Toastmaster Liz, I ask all my guests this question is why should someone consider Toastmasters? In your view, what are the one or two things that someone is going to gain from Toastmasters?
That's a great question. During my journey in Toastmasters, there's this additional component to growing your communication skills. You also become better at giving and receiving feedback and leadership in general because you can't be a great leader without having and being able to share a clear plan and a vision. This idea of visionary leadership is huge and powerful and transforms a lot of aspects of both your professional and your personal life. The second part about giving and receiving feedback, there are very few places in my life, either personally or professionally, where I get valuable feedback and learn the other growth opportunities that are open for me and give me perspective outside my own. And these are just part of the amazing things that I've been able to take away from my Toastmasters experience.
Thank you for sharing that. Toastmasters Liz, a leader needs to have a vision, and that can be practiced at Toastmasters. What is your favorite club? We know you are part of a lot of clubs. You've been club coach, you've been area director. What is your favorite club, Toastmasters Liz, and why?
Well, this is a really tough question, and I hate playing favorites. I have been area director of two different areas, one that was my local club, and then also an area that was geographically very different from anywhere I have ever lived or been before. I think on the average, my favorite club is my home club, Toastmasters at MIT, because these are my people. These are the people that I trust to give me really hard feedback. And I've been a member and a leader of that club for many years. On the flip side of that, though, I have to say I love being visitor at a new club that I don't know anything about. Um, because, like you guys, I have an open growth mindset and I always learn something new or see a new take on how to spend that hour or 2 hours that I love taking back to my home club with me.
Thanks a lot for sharing that, Toastmasters Liz. We will come down and visit your favorite club, which is MIT Toastmasters. Toastmasters Liz, now have you heard about UD?
This is a great question. I have heard about this artificial intelligence uh, software robot that evaluates speeches. I haven't used it yet, but I am very eager to try. I'd like to practice my speeches. In the old days, we used to record ourselves with video cameras, and now it's been very educational to record myself using the Zoom and the digital platforms. but to have that additional help would be really interesting. One of the biggest things that I learned from recording myself just on my own, I actually had this really weird filler sound that I didn't even know I made. It was a tongue click, and you can't even, hopefully, can't even hear it now, but having that extra recording is a really powerful way to practice your speeches.
Thank you, Toastmaster Liz. Dear Toastmasters, usually is provided to every Toastmaster with your Toastmasters tunes. As Toastmaster Liz said, you can practice improving your clutch words, you can practice improving table topics. A couple of games that you can practice. Table topics is one. Make sure you check out you. Toastmaster Liz, on this note, are you ready for some rapid fire questions?
Sure, go right ahead.
A historic leader that inspires you a lot.
What inspires me a lot? I draw my greatest inspiration when I learn something new about myself, whether it's a new way to think about organizing my content or a new thing I can do with my family. Growth is what inspires me.
You. A speech that is very close to your heart, any speech that comes to mind?
My favorite speech is actually my icebreaker. An icebreaker is one that you give when you first join a club or when you're introducing yourself at a new club. And I have actually given my icebreaker 25 times at 25 different clubs. And I recently gave it a second time at my own club. But this speech is sort of like a sculpture. And every time you give it, it's into something new, like a beautiful piece of art. And I have a great message now after 25 times.
Thank you for sharing that. Icebreaker is personal speech. Personal speech comes from the heart and it touches hearts. So that is definitely someone's favorite speech. Toastmaster Liz, a book that you like to recommend to our Toastmasters.
Ooh, this is a great question. I am a avid reader. I actually have a goal to read every book ever recommended to me. So I always have a stack and a list of books. Really difficult to choose just one, but my favorite book is one that I've read as a child and now to two generations of children happens to be Little Women because I love all of the aspects. The different sisters have very different ways of solving problems.
Thank you for sharing that. We'll definitely check that out. A food that is very close to your palate. Any food that comes to.
I do have a favorite food, and it's not very healthy. I usually try to eat healthy food, but I love chocolate, specifically M&Ms. And I like to sneak them because I don't let my family eat, but I will always share them if they catch me snacking.
That's a wonderful choice. Is it the one with peanuts or plain M&Ms?
Plain M&Ms.
Sounds good. A restaurant that you like to recommend to our Toastmasters.
A restaurant that I'd like to recommend, I actually live in Durham, New Hampshire, which is about an hour and a half of uh, north of Boston. And we have several good restaurants that we supported during the pandemic. If you ever visit Durham, New Hampshire, I strongly recommend Clark's. It is New American uh, affair, but it's very family oriented. Bring in your small kids. They'll keep it busy. Have a long leisurely meal and just enjoy the small town atmosphere.
Thank you. We'll check the wonderful restaurant out. Toastmaster Liz, have you heard about CLCon 2023? And are you coming to CLCon 2023?
Ooh, tricky question. So I go to CLCon every year. For many years, I have volunteered in some capacity. This year, I will be attending. I really love following the speech contest. from the area, especially if it's an area or a club where I have friends. I listen to speeches, I will watch recordings. I love seeing that evolution, especially of the competition level speeches. So I will be there, I will be watching your speech. And if you are giving a contest level speech, send me an email. I'd love to hear. I will give you feedback.
Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Liz. That completes our rapid fire round. Is there anything else that you like to share with our district?
Remember to keep practicing your speaking. Toastmasters is actually like a muscle. The more that you exercise it, the better that you will get, and you have to do it often and frequently. It's something that only gets better with time. So keep practicing.
Thank you for the advice. Toastmaster Liz, you could have been anywhere in the world, but you choose to come down and talk to us. So thank you from the bottom up.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Dear Toastmasters, that was Toastmaster Liz sharing her Toastmasters experience, what she likes about MIT Club, what is her favorite book, and a lot more. If you'd like to come and talk to us, please do mention your name in our comment section and we'll reach out to you. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share to our YouTube channel. That will encourage us to create more content. Please check out Toastmaster Liz's blog and share your feedback with her. Have you heard about Meet Your Match? Meet Your Match is a new program where mentors can meet mentees, and our next session is on April 17th. Please do sign up and share your experiences. On that note, have a wonderful day. Talk to you soon on our next episode. Bye bye.